Okay. We ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Loud Mom's Lair. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Tara. All right, Kristen, wanted to do a quick little check-in. How was your week this past week?
It's going good. I'm trying to think if anything. I mean, we've been pretty busy with work. I have to do this project for work that I've been working on, and I've been doing a lot of hair lately. So other than that,
Good.
it's been busy. But good. I mean, I can't really think of anything. So I guess that's a
That's
plus,
good,
right?
It's like no news is good news. Quiet
Right.
week is a good week. So good.
Exactly. And how about yours?
Uh, so I was ready for like such a good week and a good like rebound from the prior week, but I caught the flu Thursday. So I think your house gave it to
Yep.
us,
Yeah.
or just me, because everyone else stayed healthy.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a blessing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, Thursday night I started feeling like crap, and then it just progressively got worse, and I was bedridden for like 48 hours, and I finally got back to like 100% 2 days ago. So it
Good. I
was
was going to ask
more.
if you were feeling better.
It was more than a 48-hour flu. It was freaking awful. Don't recommend, everyone.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the worst.
Yeah, it's freaking awful. So I'm sorry you guys had that and everything. But yeah, we're just chugging along, getting this house ready, and doing some repairs to the house in preparation for the new buyers.
It's coming up, right? When do you move again?
Yeah, so not tomorrow, but the next Friday, we close on our new house, and then we
Okay.
move the next day, and then we close on this house a couple days after that.
Oh my God, so a week from Saturday?
Yeah. So we get the keys a
Wow.
week from tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, but the new buyers trying to get this house, or not trying, they are successfully getting this house. They are demanding a new roof be put on. So we are trying to figure that out, and trying to figure out if we can even get a roof in time. So who knows? The closing may be pushed back a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed we don't have to actually do the new roof.
Absolutely. No, fingers crossed, and hopefully
Yeah.
it goes well.
Yeah, hopefully. But we're ready to get out of here for sure.
Yeah. Almost. You're almost there.
I know.
Well, since we got our check-ins out of the way, before we get the episode started, let's get to our cheers. On making it through another week, you feeling better, my family's feeling better, and it's Easter on Sunday. So,
It is.
cheers to that.
Cheers. All
Is that
right.
light wine? Is it white wine or
So
water?
I actually opted for a bubble water tonight. I think last week I turned it up a little bit too much during the podcast. So
I love it.
we are taking it a little easier tonight, but it's hibiscus flavor, which, if you guys have not tried it yet, is the best flavor of. Is it an AHA or bubble? Regardless, hibiscus, just LaCroix. I don't know which one it
Oh
is,
my God,
but
that's so funny.
look it up, everyone. Target has them almost all the time.
Okay. Oh, also, shout out to my mom for calling me out on the last episode. Apologies. I didn't get married in Maumee, Ohio. That makes a lot more sense to me, but it was Maumee, Oregon. So there you go. Which is still in Ohio, right?
Yeah. Maumee Bay, Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon, Ohio.
So whatever. So thanks, Mom, for calling me out, but just a little FYI.
So this week we are going to, we decided to jump into discussing what it's like to live kind of further away from family, because we're both out of state from where we grew up, and especially what it's like, not just as like a married couple, but starting to raise a family. What type of support system do we have around us? Do we like being away from family? Do we not like being away? What are the pros and cons? And just kind of giving the down and dirty of both of our situations. So if you want to tell the listeners, let's start with that. Do you want to tell them, like, who do you guys have around you and are they able to assist with things, and yeah, how involved are they, I guess?
Mhm. This episode actually really hits like a hard for me. I'm excited we're doing this one um because I have getting in my older age, I've realized that I don't like being far away from my
Oh my
parents.
God, I was gonna say this.
Yeah, were you really? Awesome. um yes, I am actually very fortunate that I have Austin's parents and his grandma here, and I do love that. They are fantastic, and we appreciate them so much because we do have them. They live about 30 minutes from us, so it's not super close, but it's obviously not really far if something, we needed something. Um, and they're here to help however they can, and that's wonderful. Um, I like I just said before, if we didn't have anybody, I really don't know if I would be able to do it,
You would
just
figure
kn
it out.
yeah, just knowing, I guess, that we have that support right there if we needed it.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, that's what, so we didn't have anyone at first, and just military life, whoever's not like used to that, is you move around, and some people move more than others, but we've been moving around since we've been together.
Mhm.
So we landed in Oklahoma, and unfortunately like no family is in Oklahoma. So closest family is our cousin down in Dallas.
Yeah.
So we
How far is it, Oklahoma, from Michigan or Ohio?
So it's about a with the rest stops, it's about a 17-hour drive.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, flying, there's never direct flights from where we are back to Detroit, or unless you wanna pay a buku amount of
Right,
money.
right.
Um, but yeah, the travel, I mean, the trip alone is, by airfare with layovers and everything, it's adds up to like a 12 to 15-hour trip anyway. So,
Right, right. And,
we would rather have a vehicle at that point.
yeah, have you traveled with Olivia in a vehicle for a a certain amount of time? Like, not just like an hour, but
Yeah, so we, at first, when she was like super little, we just did plane rides because we're like,
Mhm.
whatever gets us there fastest.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we didn't want to stress out about the cars. And then, nursing is like, we would have to stop every couple hours. But our first trip, longer trip that we took, was to Florida when we met my cousins Jesse and Dave and their
Okay,
boys.
yeah.
And we rented an Airbnb out in Destin. So that was 14 hours,
Okay.
and Liv did phenomenal though. But what's the longest you guys did? Because you guys have driven back to Toledo, right?
Well, we did, but only once with Braxton, and he was like a month old. So it
Oh,
was
see,
an
you did what I was trying to
emergency.
avoid.
Yeah, it was an emergency trip. We had to go
Yeah,
back. So it was the easiest, obviously, way to do it.
right. That was the
And
fastest, I'm assuming.
yes. Um, and he did good. Thank goodness he was only a month old, because if it was a different time or even right now, he would be not having it.
Right.
I
Did he
was
sleep a lot?
Yes, and I was not the brightest or best parent, because, as you said, nursing wise, we would have to stop. I was bad and took him out when we were driving. And just
I was gonna I was
here,
gonna make a comment saying, I'm sure there's people that do that.
it's me. I do that.
Sorry.
We actually are making, in 2 weeks, a trip back out to Michigan. Austin's cousin is getting married.
Oh,
Um,
exciting.
we're dropping the kids meaning Braxton and my dog Penny, to my parents' house,
She is a kid.
I guess. And but we do, Austin's parents have a camper. So it's a
Oh,
driving camper, so
nice.
it might be a little bit easier rather than being cooped up in a car.
Yes. You can stretch
Braxton
your
would not
legs and
have it.
everything.
Right. So we're excited. It's gonna, be something new.
Right.
Um, but it'll be fun. I'm excited to see how he does. I'm sure I'm worried he's gonna be up in the front with, the driver and the passenger
He's
just
trying
sitting
to drive.
talking, yeah, talking to
Is
him.
Is it one of the RVs that has like kind of a wall that barricades the driver, or is
No,
it fully open and
it's open. Yeah,
oh, he's gonna be trying to drive.
probably.
Yeah.
We're
He's like,
leaving
my
a little
turn.
bit later at night, so hopefully he'll be starting to settle down and, we'll just put on a show for him or something.
Yeah.
And he'll just hopefully, and they have a bed in the back, so that'll be nice.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
but yeah, so it'll be our first trip driving with him
Hmm.
being the age he's at. So
Right. Like
I'm kind of
be
nervous, but I'm
aware.
excited.
He's aware of
Yes.
everything.
Yeah. Maybe he'll
But
just look out the window or something and it'll be fine.
I he might be really good. Like just bring all of the activities.
Yeah. I'm
I don't
sure
know.
he will. I sit here and say my kid's like a wild freaking child,
He's
but
a good
he
kid.
he normally is very good. It's so funny. Sometimes we'll take him
Yeah.
to a restaurant and I have the tablet on hand just in case if he starts
Emergencies. Yeah.
acting up, but he's always fine. I think I work myself up more than anything.
But I mean, I would rather be prepared than not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, crayons and a coloring menu only go so far.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it lasts like 2 seconds. He's like, "Okay, I'm done with this, whatever. Let's get up and go run around the restaurant."
Right. I'm gonna climb up this high chair and then I don't want to sit in the high chair. Let's sit on
Yeah.
mommy's lap.
Yeah. Or he's now at that stage where he gets up and, like, looks at the booth behind him.
Oh, and stairs. And stairs. Oh my God. And Liv will be like, who's that?
Yeah.
What? Like, that's their food.
So funny. It's
Yeah.
I mean, people who don't have kids, it might bother, but people who do have kids, it's fine. I mean,
Yes.
whatever. Just turn
Right.
around and let
You
them
just
eat.
accept it. All right.
Exactly. You said Liv did good, in the
So I
car?
I think she did. So what we did was we left at like 7 p.m.
Mhm.
And so we were like, we're getting her ready. We're getting her in pajamas. She
Yeah.
just like had dinner, got all ready for quote unquote bed. And we're
Right.
like, get in the car. And
Bed in
we
your
just
car seat.
yeah. And we just drove through the night and like Matt and I alternated shifts and she slept pretty well, but then like at like 2 in the morning, all of a sudden it was when she was still like rear facing. So you
Yeah.
have like the mirror, and all of a sudden I look back and I just see these two eyes just like beaming. And she wasn't saying anything. She was just like,
She probably was so confused where she was.
just like deer in headlights. Like, I went to bed in a car and I'm still in a car.
This is
It's been
not normal.
hours.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
But yeah, overall she did really well. So, but we haven't done a long trip since. The longest trip we've done with her since then is maybe like an hour and a half
Yeah.
to an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
How does she do on planes? I guess when they're babies, they're either
it's
sleeping
hit or
or
miss.
whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah. Um, but now, because you guys just recently went
Yeah.
somewhere.
Where did we go? Yes, I just forget where we went.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's been on a plane quite a bit. She she does really well. If she's tired, it's kind of risky because she'll either be like cranky for a good like 5-10 minutes, and then that all hell breaks loose during
Right.
those 5 to 10 minutes. But then she passes out. But if she's not tired, then it's what activities do we have lined
Yeah.
up and what snacks do we
Yeah.
have lined up? And it's like, oh, okay. Sorry. So the last plane ride we went on, I got like mama bear mode. And normally I'm a pretty considerate person, I would think. But I'm
Yeah.
also one of my weaknesses is like I'm a people pleaser too. So we had this gentleman, older gentleman, he's maybe like 50s,
Yeah.
60s in front of us. And Liv was sitting on my lap, was not touching the seat, was not doing anything. Like I was being very cautious of, or like aware of where her feet were, where her hands were, because
Yeah.
I don't want someone kicking my seat throughout the plane ride.
Right.
And she tapped his chair once this entire time. And my eyes were on her the entire time. And my
Yeah.
arms were protecting her. And he lost it. And he looks back And he looks at me and he's like, she keeps kicking my seat. And I just like, that rage you
Yeah.
feel inside. And like, I looked at him dead in the eyes and I said, actually, she hasn't. It was one time and she's 2 years old. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. It's
Like,
almost
go to
like,
bed, put your headphones in, like, just fall asleep.
yeah, it's almost like, do they have kids? Have they ever went through that before? I remember the one time we were on a plane, and I think he was over 1, Braxton, and this lady in front of us had the whole row to herself,
Mhm.
and this is when Braxton still was able to, sit on our laps, and he was sitting on my lap, and I was by the window, and she
Mhm.
was in the middle, I think, and she was a flight attendant on this flight, but not, like, working, so she must
You're
have
right.
just caught, and
Catching a ride.
I don't know if she was kidding or if she was serious, but she said something along the lines of, she must have heard me say, "Okay, we're not gonna kick or we're not gonna
Mhm.
hit or scream or whatever." And she like turned around and was like, "Yeah," or something. And I just looked at Austin and was like, "Hell no."
Mhm.
Again, like you just said, they're
Mhm.
1, they're 2. They don't freaking know. All they know
Right.
is they're confined to this little space
Right.
when they're normally walking around and,
Right.
uh,
And what do people expect the parents to do? Let them, like, take
seriously.
laps down the aisle and then,
Yeah,
like, annoy everyone? I would rather my kid annoy one person on the jet
right.
and not 200 people on the
Yeah.
jet.
At least it's not like a 14-hour flight. It's either
Right.
an hour or 2.5 hours. I mean, I
Right.
get it, but you
Also, I'm pretty
keep
sure
doing
an
it.
adult would mess with the chair more than I let Liv mess with the
Right.
chair,
Oh,
and it was oh, the fury I felt. And, I feel like parents are already under intense, like, stress that they probably put on themselves
yeah.
because they're thinking of what other people are thinking, right?
Mhm.
Maybe that's just a me thing, but, like, I
No, I agree. I do
yeah,
it too. Traveling is so stressful now for me. I
so
can't stand it.
stressful. So stressful. And I am constantly like, I have to have a plan, a backup
Yeah.
plan, a tertiary plan, and like an
Right.
emergency plan.
Yeah.
And I am just constantly like, oh my God, she shouted a little too loud, even though it was in excitement.
Yes.
Was it too loud? And I'm like,
Mhm.
forgetting there's ambient air still. I'm like,
Yeah.
planes are loud anyway. And
Yeah.
oh gosh. So,
No, I 100% agree with that. Traveling, stress. It always has stressed me out, but now
mhm,
even more because just like you said, if he says like one little thing, "Oh my gosh, shh, don't shout," you know?
right,
And
right.
he go he's in like this stage, actually he has been, where he thinks, "Oh, we're gonna fall or we're gonna do," I'm like, "Shh, no, we're not. Don't say that out loud. There might be people who are
Did you say
frightened of."
crash?
No. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's like, "Shh, I'm gonna fall
Right.
out of the airplane." "No, you're not." It's
You see, like, a lady next to you grip her seat a little tight.
right? "I'm sorry, he just watches too many, whatever."
What is it on, the movie Bridesmaids where it's like, I saw, like, old English woman on the wing?
That movie is great. God.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Um,
But, like, traveling, yeah, I feel like you can be as prepared as you want, but it's never it's never gonna go as you're hoping.
exactly.
It just is what it is, and you have
Yeah.
to stop. My lesson learned, you just have to stop trying to please other people. Like, your child is number 1 priority, and then your family, like, the
Yeah.
rest, your significant other, and it just
I just like
whatever.
to think that none of them have ever had children, because if you did, why are you acting like that? Like,
Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Yeah, and just think how miserable their life is. If they're, like,
Yeah.
getting mad at a 2-year-old and, like, yelling at a 2-year-old or making rude comments towards
Yeah.
a toddler, like, how miserable of a life do you have to be living to get
Exactly.
angry at a toddler who has no bodily control yet, you know?
Yeah. So everyone
Get
chill the
get over
F
it.
out
Yes.
and
Take a Xanax, drink a scotch, and ignore
yeah.
the English women on the wings.
Help me, I'm poor. So speaking of traveling,
Speaking of being poor. No, I'm just
yeah, there you go. Um, we both obviously said in the beginning that this episode kind of hits home. So,
Mhm.
and we don't really
Literally.
like being, yeah, and we don't like being away. What, and I mean, I think it's going to be the same things. What really holds us back from traveling?
Mhm.
Obviously the expenses and work.
And it is expensive.
Well,
And
and now we have to pay for their tickets.
yes, yeah. So people who haven't experienced a child and or don't want to, yeah, once they hit 2 years old, you have to buy them a ticket.
Yeah.
So kids are expensive in normal life, then add traveling on top of
Yeah.
it. And I
Yeah.
always feel bad because like our parents took us on trips. Our parents took
Right.
us like to Florida or
I'm pretty sure my
we
parents drove like a lot of places.
you guys
But
had that
anyway.
awesome van.
Oh,
That
hell yeah.
that van was the shit. That
I
was
used to have to drive that to high school. The seat
yeah,
didn't even
that's
move up, and you know how freaking short I am.
do you remember we took it to Wildwood and we got
Yes,
locked out?
me and my
We
mom were
locked these sheets in
just
the
talking
car.
about this. We were just
Oh
talking about this not
god.
too long ago. Oh my
Yeah, we
God,
had to
that's
call like
so.
AAA or something.
Did we? I probably didn't even know how to do that.
I mean, we did it. So one of our moms probably called for us. Come on. They don't
So
teach you that
funny.
at school.
Yeah, that van was the shit. A lot of miles on that thing.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, expenses suck and uh I don't know what holds you back from traveling back home. I mean, expenses are probably it's
Right.
schedules and routines. I would
Mhm.
argue routines are probably at least for me because I'm super
I was
OCD and
gonna say that one's all you.
oh my god. As soon it is a problem. All right, everyone, I'm recognizing that this is a problem that I need to work on, but
And
I am
you're
so team
you
driven.
there is a time difference, right?
It's 1 hour.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah. No, that's
sometimes
not
that
an
messes people up.
excuse. It's not an excuse. I'm just psycho, like I say in almost every episode, and it's becoming a trend. No, but Matt and I, we always talk to each other about how routine driven we are, and it just is what it is. I don't call it military, call it just how we've lived our lives the
Yeah,
last for a decade. I don't
right.
know, but we stick to a routine and our routine works for us and we all thrive off of said routine. So it's like as soon as a wrench gets thrown in, we're like,
What do I do?
didn't have an alternate plan for this. They didn't tell me this could happen. But
Alright,
are you guys routine at all or no? You
Um,
just go with the flow.
we are. I mean, we have little things that we, do. Um,
They
we're
just go
what?
with the flow, everyone.
Yeah. We're what? 2 hours behind Ohio.
Yeah.
Um, so when we go there, that's kind of, I would say, stressful on my end because,
Mhm.
the nap portion and then going to bed. I mean,
Mhm.
he pretty much goes to bed at 9 o'clock every night now.
Oh my God.
So,
That
so it's
gives me
11 o'clock
anxiety.
there. It's like, my God. And like with
Mm-mm.
naps, if it's at 1:30, takes a 3:30 nap there. Oh my God. That it just
9 p.m.
hey, he does what he wants.
Man, Liv's lucky we just moved it to 8. Poor girl. Ju
It's it's mainly chasing him around the house trying to freaking get his comfies and crap on and
Oh, yeah.
getting
The
his ass
runaway
settled down.
runaway routine.
Before
We make
I
Liv run laps now.
Oh, yeah, he
Really
does
bad.
that he does that every freaking day. We have, like, our dining room and kitchen it's like that circle. So it's all
Mhm.
he does is, like and then he wants you to chase him and stuff, but
Yes.
it just before I came down here, I was like, "Alright, are we tubbing tonight? We getting in the tub, or are we just gonna wipe up?"
Mhm.
I just wanna wipe up." "Okay, so here, let's get you wiped up and wiped down." No, he ran away and everything. It was like, "Alright, Austin, you're dealing with this because I gotta go."
So did on a real quick segue or not segue, just a little offshoot. So a washcloth bath, right?
Mhm.
Do you remember getting those as a kid?
No, but
Oh, I have
maybe
a
they would
reason why
come
I'm
in.
asking.
Okay.
Did your family have like a nickname for what they called washcloth baths?
I don't think so. I
My
have to
mother
ask.
my mother called it a whore bath.
Does she
And I
have a
don't
reason
mean that in
behind
any
this?
derogatory terms. Like it just was what it was.
A whore bath.
Yep.
No, I'm afraid to use that because he'll repeat it. He'll probably go to school and be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I took a whore bath."
Oh God. But anyway, you're chasing him around trying to get him ready for bed.
Yeah, so I said,
Little
"All right." So
energetic
so
thing.
literally that's I mean, kid, yeah, he does. He goes to bed pretty much whenever he wants to. It's terrible, but whatever.
Ah, he's trying he's living large.
Yeah, exactly.
I know we had to move Liv's bedtime back because we were watching her on the monitor and she was just like talking to herself and
Yeah.
like she was grabbing stuff off her little kitchen and we would see her like we would wake her up in the morning. She'd have like a bottle of fake ketchup and mustard and a spatula. Like
Got a
cooking a
hamburger bun in
5-course meal.
here.
Right.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, so I guess she can stay up till 8 now.
Yeah.
What keeps us from traveling?
Expenses definitely the big thing. I mean, work,
Mhm.
which now
It's tough.
I work from home and my company is very I wouldn't say lenient, but my boss, she really does, if I do need to travel, hey, I'll take my computer,
Oh, good.
and do that. So, and I think really, I mean, it's kind of just timing. Yeah, I know,
Hmm.
as much as you want to go home, and I say home meaning like that's still my home,
Where you
that's
grew up,
where I
yeah.
grew up. Um, but you also have a home where you live and
Right.
that's what you need, you need to be there. That's your
Right.
life. So maybe like timing, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, if I could, I would go back every weekend or every other weekend.
Oh, you're better than me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing my family. Like that's
Yeah.
like the reason I go back home,
Mhm. Yeah.
but I just don't miss the location. And
No.
no offense to anyone that like stayed in the area,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just really don't miss the
Mhm.
location.
Mhm. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of growing up too is it's again, no offense to anybody who, stayed or whatever, but I feel like growing up you have to move move on with something new. You have to try
Hmm.
something new. And hey, if,
Yeah.
if it worked for you, it worked for you. That's fine. You didn't need to try anything new.
Right.
Me, I did. I always wanted to move to
Same.
Florida. That was my biggest thing. And I did it and I loved it. I loved being
Right.
away, I loved it. But now I'm at a point in my life where I'm, you lose unfortunately, you lose, friends at our age now.
Oh yeah.
You lose, parents at our age. You
Mhm.
lose grandparents, whatever. You lose a lot and I'm not ready to not be there for that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, both Matt and I mean, we thrived being away from home. Like, we
mhm.
both wanted to be away from home. We wanted to set roots somewhere else and just
Right.
like start our own life, and blossom from wherever we started. And we loved it, and we still do love it. But now
Right.
having a kid, I mean, fortunately, we have his dad here now, close to us, so it is nice having some family here.
Right.
But I would love to live, next to my siblings, and so, like, if and whenever, they choose to have kids, it's
Right.
like, I would love for them to grow up close because, like, you and I got to grow up close.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, Liv's probably gonna be an only child, so it's like,
Yeah.
we gotta get her involved in all these
Yeah.
sports and all of these things just so she can be around kids as much as
Yeah.
possible.
And even so, our friends who are having kids and you
Mhm.
know, I know you have friends out there. I'm gonna straight up tell you, I don't got friends out here.
Well,
So
no, but I do. So I do, but they're all like military, at least like the
yeah.
ones super close, and the friends that I'm like closest with, they're all moving this summer and all or
Oh,
summer fall, and I was like,
yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
don't leave me.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to learn how to make friends as an adult again,
Yeah, how do you
which
even
is
do
hard.
that? It
I
is.
don't know. I'm horrible.
Well, and now you're like now you're a parent, so you have to make like parent friends so your kids
Which I
can.
want.
Me too.
Like
I want that too. I want to
I
be
I
able
want
to.
a dating app, but for friends. Like that exists, right? Like where are my mom friends at
Yeah,
that
it's
I can relate
called
to?
the Facebook page of whatever city you live in.
I know. I know, but I feel like such a creep sometimes because I really do want like
Yeah.
more mom friends who I can go get coffee with,
Yeah.
but like bring our kid or,
Mhm.
do whatever.
Yeah.
Or leave the kids at home with whoever's back at home and just escape for a little bit, go get nails done, whatever it
Yeah.
might be. I
Yeah.
am advertising for friends, everyone. I am just
Holla
so
right there.
awkward. I'm
I know. It's almost like how would you ever date again? You ever thought about that? If anything
oh,
were to ever freaking happen, I would be the weirdest fucking person ever. People would literally be like, "Okay, this girl is weird and I'm leaving. Bye."
and then like in life this is so just such a tangent, but like in life you just get so comfortable with who you
Yeah.
are and who you're with and everything, and like there's no filter anymore.
No.
Like
No.
in the event that so back to like making friends, there's still no filter because I'm
Yeah.
used to like the life I live right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
So if I would have to go meet someone new, I would be nervous that the lack of filter would be like, this person is weird, I'm
Mhm.
never talking to them again.
Yeah. We actually recently, when Braxton was changing daycares, I spoke with one of the moms at his previous daycare, and
Mhm.
we were okay, well, we want to set up play dates, we want to keep in
Right.
touch. Um, and we did go to the park one weekend with them. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, okay, well, do I like not look like a sloppy mess? I'm like,
Right.
do I get dressed
It's
up kind
like
of
you
to go
start
to a
overthinking it.
park? Yeah.
But really,
Make
it's like
sure
you
you
wanna give off a good impression.
make sure you're not saying like this kind of stuff. I was so nervous. It went good. It was great. But
Ah, I'm jealous. So you hit it
it's
off.
yeah, so I got, maybe one new friend.
Did you get her number?
I don't have her number, but I do have her on Facebook. So
Oh, I love it. It's
we Facebook
blossoming,
message.
man. And I know some friendships just like they do take time to
Mhm.
like get to the point where you're trying to get to know each other and then all of a sudden you're best friends, but like you don't
Yeah,
know how you got to that point.
right.
I don't
I
know.
mean, it's hard. I feel like it's always been hard, but not, even more so now that you have a kid, which is kind of weird because so many people have kids and so many
Right.
people I feel like are in the same boat and they want to, get together with other
Yeah.
moms or whatever. And like you were saying earlier, you feel like a creep on like the Facebook pages. Well, the Facebook page I'm on,
Mhm.
we there's a lot of moms that post on it and say, "Hey, we're going to go to the park or if anybody wants to meet up, we're going to be here around this time."
Ugh,
But I'm such a freaking freak about I'm so paranoid about like
strangers.
crime and shit. I'm like, I'm not freaking going. Like, what the hell? This person might
This
be
is a
fake
setup.
or
Catfishing me.
yeah. So,
Yeah. Oh, it's stressful. It is so stressful. But I'm hoping I just want to have like a cookout with some
mhm,
neighborhood friends
mhm.
that also have kids so the kids can go play and the adults can have adult conversations. Is
And
that too much to
it's
ask?
so you're moving into a new neighborhood
I know. I'm gonna put a
and
sign out my front yard saying looking for friends.
barbecue is welcome here.
No,
Well,
I was telling Matt I really want to have like a welcoming, like a housewarming cookout and invite neighbors.
yeah, could you have like what I've always
Like a
wanted to
block
freaking do?
party.
Thank you. Yes, I
Yes.
was just gonna say that's always what I wanted to do.
It's been on my bucket list my whole life, and I've never been to one or hosted one or
Yeah.
anything.
Oh my God. Okay. I love that. And if you have a
And
block
we're in a
party, let me
little
know.
cul-de-sac-ish area.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Oh, that'll
yeah.
be perfect. If it's in like a
It's kind
little
of like weird. It's like an L shape, but we're
okay.
in the back end of the L.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully you have a lot of do you ever so whenever you watch movies, they might not be movies nowadays too, I don't know. But when somebody new moves in and like their neighbor is bringing them food, knock on the door, like a welcome pie or something. Like, come on, where is that, people? Let's go. I didn't get
So
no friggin' welcome pie when I moved to my house.
well, so I've never gotten that from a neighbor, but it's so funny that you bring that up because I went and met up with a couple of friends last night, and one of the girls that I used to work with, she's reserves in the military. I'm out of the military, and we don't like really keep in touch, but like anytime we see each other, I mean, we just pick up where we left off, and it's just such a sweetheart. And she's like, she lives up in Edmond too, and it's like, when you move into your new house, can I bring you like you guys food because you're gonna be getting settled in? I was like, this is just the sweetest thing. I was like, can I get you something? Because like you just had a baby 3 months ago that I didn't know about until like just recently.
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah,
Sweet.
but
there's some good people out there. That's for
there
sure.
really is. Yeah. Okay, so while you were pregnant, like how did you feel being away from family? Were you able to see family? Because I think your parents came and visited you a few times while you were pregnant, right? Or was it just after you had Braxton?
No, they were here. No, yeah. So it wasn't a couple times because this was during COVID. So obviously, you know, a lot of things were crazy. But they did come. They came before he was born, and I'm trying to think. It was either 2 weeks or a week before he was born. But other than that, no. I mean, I had obviously, you know, Austin's parents here. But it's kind of sad because you know you grow up and my biggest thing was I wanted my mom there with me in the room, you know.
Okay.
Well, that couldn't happen because of COVID. So you were only allowed to have one person.
Yeah.
Obviously, Austin needs to be there.
I guess he could be there.
Right. So I mean, it sucked for me. One, just because it was my first kid. Two, because it was their first time becoming grandparents.
Right.
You know, thank goodness for, you know, FaceTime or Alexa or Google Meet or whatever you have.
Yes. Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't really even have a baby shower either. And that really was just, I think, made it so much more difficult for me knowing, okay, I nobody's even going to be able to see, you know, this. Nobody's going to be able to experience this with me.
Right.
So that part sucked, but my parents did eventually make it out, and I'm grateful for that. And again, I wouldn't be able to. I'm glad I have Austin's parents here too. Especially not having your own parents, you know.
Right.
Seeing Austin
fill the void a little bit.
Yeah, and seeing Austin have his parents here kind of is like, oh, you know, like I don't get to even see mine, but it helps, you know, because they are my parents also, you know.
Absolutely. And but of course there is a difference. I mean, like I could definitely relate. I'm so happy that like Matt and his dad have this time together and everything, and Liv gets to grow up with like a grandparent in town. Like that is such a special thing. But like you're envious of that bond that gets to continue.
Yeah. That you can't just pick up and, you know, drive an hour or two to see them. Because I think our drive is 18, 19, I think around the same.
Yeah.
So it's not a quick trip.
Right. I think the hardest part during like when I was pregnant was, Mom, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure none of my family saw my belly except for pictures. And like, so that's something I really wanted my mom to be able to see. Like, it sounds so dumb when I say it out loud.
No, and even like have them like touch it and stuff.
Yes,
Just to, you know.
yes. I wanted to show off the pregnant belly, you know, like I wanted mom to see it, you know. But baby showers, we had one, but it was a virtual. So we just did like the live Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And which was weird because there's no interaction. It's just us talking to a camera, and it's like you get zero feedback. Like fortunately our friends Malay and TJ were here during it, so like Malay was like reading one of the apps, and or not the apps, the comments, and so she was like trying to have it be interactive, but it was still it was such a weird time.
I was just gonna say it was a rough time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
COVID obviously messed a lot of shit up, but especially
Yeah.
for, you know, people who that was our first time
Right.
experiencing something like that, and we
And
weren't
it's
even
all we
able
know.
to, yeah, we weren't even able to experience it with, you know, our family or our
Yeah.
friends or
Yeah.
so it was rough.
Yeah. Okay, so you have some family in town and everything, but did you guys have to ever go through a process of like finding a babysitter? And if so, like who did you, or I guess who did you seek and how did that process work for you guys?
So I'm gonna go the route of it's pretty easy for us. um,
Okay. Yeah.
um, us as parents love taking him. Not that we do a whole lot, but you know, if we were like, okay, we want to go to a hockey game or we want to do date
Yeah.
night or whatever. Um, we also have fantastic neighbors who
Ugh,
love him.
that you're
Uh,
friends with.
well, yeah, yeah. And they have kids of their own who adore Braxton, so it's easy for us, and I'm glad I never had to go the route of finding someone I didn't know
Hmm.
because I don't know how I would, you know, do that. I would be like
Terrifying.
I would have a list of like questions
Hmm.
written down and
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, obviously I would want them to come to my house because, you know, all of his stuff is here and like
Mhm.
bedtime and stuff. But okay, what if they, you know,
Now you got
steal
a
from
stranger in
us
your
or what
house.
if they, yeah, we have a stranger in our house. Okay, but then what if I take them to their, you know, no, I don't like that.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Neither did
assuming
we.
you've had to go that route.
Yeah. So we've had a couple strangers watch her. We, it sounds so bad
Stranger
when you put it like that.
danger.
Yeah, we went through the military has a service or not a service, like a discount on a service, like where you can search for babysitters through like this quote unquote vetted system
Yeah.
where they upload their resumes and they do background checks and everything. You can see what they're certified in and they have to like show their certification and you can ask them if they didn't upload it, yada yada.
Uh-huh.
Do you also have a ponytail in the back?
Oh no, it's a hair clip.
Oh, just saw another whale spot.
Y'all, if you're watching, this is the normal hair that we were talking about that I put
Yes,
on
what
top of
last
my
week I think
head.
I mentioned it. Yeah, this is the Chrissy hair.
This is the hair.
Hmm. But yeah, so we use this service, and because like our neighbors are like older,
Mhm.
like 70, 80 years old, and then there's one younger girl, but I don't think she likes us, and then there's a family behind us, like which they're wonderful, but we just aren't. I don't know. We just never hit it off to the point where we
Yeah,
would ask them to. And
right.
nothing against them. I would have never like approached it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're searching for someone. We're like, well, I mean, I babysat in high school. So you're
Right.
like trying to figure out what age do you
Mhm.
look for? And it's like, well, we need them to have a car because we want them
Yeah.
to come to our place. And then we're like, okay, what about like a college student, you know?
Mhm.
And then there's a lot of thoughts with college students. So, like, are they a good college student or a bad college
Yeah.
student? Like, do they like to party? Because now they're gonna have an empty house and
About to
our
be
2 year old
throwing a party.
less than a 2 year old. Yeah, yeah. And like we did have some friends who watched Live like on like one off basis. And they were wonderful to like help out with that. And but like we didn't want to overuse that or
Yeah.
over ask. And
Right.
so we wanted like a I don't want to say permanent, but like a babysitter that
A
we
sitter.
could
Yeah.
call. Yeah, we
Yeah.
wanted a stable sitter without inconveniencing our friends. As much as we did appreciate it, and Liv loves the our friends that have watched her.
Yeah.
And so we found this one girl. Her name was Chantel. She was wonderful, such a sweetheart, college student, and Liv loved her, but we ended up moving on from her, and nothing that she did wrong. It was just um, we found another sitter and tried this other girl out, and Liv just connected with this other sitter so much more, and
Yeah.
like, and the reason we knew she liked the other sitter, not not saying the other one was bad at all, but Liv ran up and gave her a hug, like,
Oh, yeah.
and was so excited to see her. So it just made us think, like, I feel like she has more interaction with her
Uh-huh.
throughout the evening, and she obviously was just more ecstatic. And it's like, okay, if Liv is showing us this, like, then we'll move on from the first sitter. We'll go to this next one. And we've used her a few times now, but fortunately now with Matt's dad in town, he can come over, like, and we can have later reservations after Liv's down, and he can just be
Yeah.
the adult in the house while
Right.
to make sure it doesn't go up in flames.
Right.
But yeah, but we also don't want to overuse that.
Yeah.
Anyway, stranger danger can be real, but we ended up finding some great sitters through the service. We wanted to make sure background checks were done. But we also had the thoughts, like, do we get, like, house cameras? But then that's creepy.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, well, it's our house. We're allowed to be creepy because it's
Yeah.
our home and our
Right.
child. But me being
Right.
a people pleaser, it's like I didn't want to ask them invasive questions and make them prove their certifications. But I know people would and should probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It all worked out. I'm hoping though we can find someone maybe who has like a teenage kid who wants to make some couple extra bucks because
Yeah.
babysitters are expensive.
Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say is, when you were talking earlier, about age. I mean, I think I started at like
Oh,
13 or
I
12
was gonna
with
say
my
like 12.
cousins,
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, nowadays I feel like it's a little bit older that they
Could you imagine a
are.
12-year-old watching Braxton
No,
alone?
absolutely not. No.
Yeah,
The
heck no.
the girl next door, well, she's learning to drive, so she's got to be at least 16.
14. Well,
Um,
if she's learning to drive, she's probably 14. You can get your permit at 14.
okay, well, whatever. She's
14,
something.
like 14 and almost 15,
Yeah.
basically.
And I have like suggested, okay, maybe, she can come over but I was like, oh, at least her parents are right next door though. Because
True.
that's crazy to think
Yeah.
that we were 13 and 14, whatever years old,
Mm,
but younger. Because I wasn't able to
yeah.
drive
Right.
when
Right.
I was watching my cousins.
And if we ever did go like the younger route, I would want a girl because I know girls are more mature.
Yeah.
And that's not like being like a sexist thing. Like
No.
I know girls are
It's a
more
known
mature.
fact. Come
It
on.
is. It is. But I mean, I love my brother, but I would not trust him to babysit at 12 years old. I guess
Mm,
now. Okay. So funny story about him. This is wonderful. Him and his wife came over. One of I think it was in the winter. I don't know how long it was, but Liv was like in the crawling stage,
yeah.
and he like set her on the ottoman, and it was like we
Oh,
have a very
God.
large ottoman, and he like got distracted by something and just like went and walked off, and there was like no one near Liv, and like his wife was like, Jacob, you just can't just leave her, and she like almost like started crawling off the ottoman. He's like, I was just getting something real quick. You have to like have all hands on deck in that stage.
I mean, at least keep her on the floor. Don't put her on the ottoman.
I mean, if you don't know what you don't know, right? Like,
Oh, God, that's so funny.
but I do feel like girls are maybe a little more natural at that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but yeah, fortunately, babysitters, hopefully, I that's a big one that I wish we had family near or more family
Right.
near.
No, and I mean, like you said earlier, you don't want to, overuse that or make it seem, like that's the only reason you want them around. But I mean,
Mhm.
it's definitely nice, especially because you trust them and the
Mhm.
kid trusts them or
Right.
and they like being around. Um, so
Let's
that
be
is
honest. My mother does not call me anymore to talk to me. She
oh no.
calls to talk, except like during the day. Then I know it's for me because she knows Liv's not home. But like,
The
I,
text messages I get now. Does Braxton want to talk?
I get video question mark. And to be fair, I say that back to her a lot of the times too. But it's either I have a missed video call or a video question mark, and I know it's not meant for me.
Next time, just keep it right up to your face the entire time. What? You asked?
That's what Liv does. She goes like this. You just see like it moving. And everyone listening who doesn't watch this video, like I just held the camera like really close to my face. You only see like eyes and
Like,
forehead.
just your forehead, yeah.
Because that's what kids do.
Oh, 100%. They have no idea.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, after you have kids, it's not about you no more.
It really isn't.
Freaking kids, like they just take everything from you.
Freaking awesome, though.
Yeah.
But they can be hellions too, which I think could segue into some crazy tantrums that we might have had this past week or some parent fails. Okay, so I don't have any crazy tantrums this week. I don't know why, but Liv was a freaking angel and she just did so well. Like while I was down dead, basically. I mean, she behaved for Matt for the most part. Like she was just such a sweetheart, always wanted to give me hugs. Whatever. She was an angel because she just is. But I got a parent fail. And this was I felt like such an idiot. We were waiting for Matt was driving home from work and we normally have like a 45-minute difference when we get home. And so it was beautiful outside. So I was like, Liv, we're going outside. We're going to play. We're before dinner time, we're burning this energy so you sleep well tonight. And she likes being chased or like chasing us or racing, right? And we're just doing laps, like back and forth sprints, And we did this thing. She's got this ball and she'll like stand in front of me and we'll both be facing the same direction. And I will throw the ball across the yard. But like I hold on to her. I'm like, don't cheat. Like you can't cheat. You got to wait till I say go. And then I'm like, green light, go, and we both take off. And like, we're sprinting. And she's maybe like 2 feet in front of me. I'm like pretending to sprint as hard as I can and out of breath. I'm actually out of breath though. And I always try to do this thing where like I like tickle her back just so she knows I'm still chasing her and everything. And she gets so excited. She's cracking up, but then like she's stumbling over her feet. So I did this thing where instead of tickling her back, I like did a tiny little squeeze on her shoulder, just like and it scared her enough. As soon as I did that, she tripped over her foot and face planted into cracks. And like it happened so fast. And when I say face plant, it was a full belly like flop face plant into the dirt. And it was an instant. I touched her like it was a matter of I touched her shoulders. She tripped, face plant in a matter of less than a second. And I just like stopped and I like was like waiting for is it going to be a cry or a laugh? Like which one is it going to be? And then all of a sudden she's just like belches out a really big laugh and everything. I was like, oh thank God. That was a bad fall.
Thank God it was in dirt.
So I know. Yeah. Well, yeah, she definitely stained her pants from all the grass from all her falls that day. But it was just one of those moments. I was like, damn, that could have been so much worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
So we're still on. I know last week I said it was a week full of tantrums. We're still on that. I think something must be in the air or something. He's been not wanting to pick things up. Not saying that I have him like pick up like a million of his toys because whatever, he's just going to get them right back out anyway.
Right.
But like if he has something like a snack or whatever, okay, here's the wrapper. I'll just leave it. And I said, no, you know what to do. You go take it in the trash, take it in the trash. Well, he doesn't like that idea. And you get it. You pick it up. You take it. The attitude is just on point this week.
Yes.
And I don't know what is going on. But obviously then that turns into a, not something he wants to hear. And he gets mad because he doesn't want to do that. So we have to think of, I try and think of it either as like you do a game or say, okay, I'll help you pick this up,
Mm-hmm.
or whoever gets, to this, whoever
First.
does it first gets a
Yep.
prize or whatever. Um, so I wouldn't really say it's a tantrum or parent fail, but it's something rough, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh gosh. No, that is the worst too. It's like, does he do the glares, like the rolling of the eyes?
Oh my
Because
God.
Liv has
Yeah.
mastered the rolling of the eyes.
And it where I guess this could go on a parent fail is um he does the rolling of the eyes, but we thought it was so freaking funny the first time.
Because it is.
It is. It's so funny because their little eyes are just like.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
now he's
They're
like,
all
now he thinks it's
beady.
funny to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Freaking 2
Uh,
going on 18, and I'm not
18.
having it.
It's for real though. All right, everyone. Well, as always, thank you so much for listening. We hope you guys all have a wonderful Easter and a great week ahead. And we will be chatting with you guys in a week.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Loud Moms Lair Podcast, or search us on YouTube and or Spotify at Loud Moms Lair. And we will see you next week.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.